Okay, so I stumbled across a question on Reddit about VA loans, and there's a bunch of bad information floating around out there. People are replying to it, and it's just some wrong information. So the question was this: the veteran bought a house for $260,000 with $0 down, and the question is, can I use my VA benefits to buy another house with a VA loan? So number one is absolutely you can do that. You can have multiple VA loans at the same time. I've seen people with 4 VA loans that are active all at the same time. So as long as you have the entitlement, yes, you can do that. So here's how it works. The average county loan limit in counties across the country is $766,550. Okay, so $766,550 is your max entitlement. There are some counties that go higher than that. If you're in the DC area, if you're in, and you're in Southern California, you're in San Francisco, there are counties that have a higher county loan limit, so the math changes a little bit. But in most counties in the United States, it's $766,550. So if you purchased a house for $260,000, you still have $506,550 remaining on your entitlement. So that means that yes, you can go buy, as long as you qualify for the payments and whatnot, you can go buy another house up to $506,000 with no down payment whatsoever. Now, if you wanted to buy, let's say you were going to buy a house that was above that price, you can still do it with a VA loan. However, you have to put down a down payment for the difference between the 506 and let's say you were buying a house for 606, that would be $100,000 difference, and you would have to put 25% of that 100,000. So you would have to put $25,000 down if you were going to go buy a $606,000 house with a VA loan. So that's how you use multiple VA loans, and this would be true if you had one house and then you bought a second house for another 300,000. You still have eligibility left. Now you could buy a third house down the road. One of the keys is that the house that you buy has to be your primary residence, but you can move your old house into a rental property. You can call it, it can become a rental property. It can stay on a VA loan. You're still eligible to do an interest rate reduction loan on that house, even though it's become a investment property. And again, you can have multiple houses on a VA loan. So absolutely, the question, yes, you have eligibility left. Yes, you can buy another house with zero down. Just depends on the price, depends on your situation. Here's a key thing too. When you're moving from one house into another house and buying with a VA loan, as long as we can reasonably assume that your rent payment is going to cover the mortgage on your current house, I can ignore that house completely from your debt ratios. It shows up on your credit report, but I just go, ignore it. And so qualifying for that second house can be super, super easy. If you qualified for the first one, you're probably going to qualify for the second one because I just ignore that first one altogether. So super easy to do a second home with a VA. Well, not a second home. It's going to be your primary residence, but a second house into a VA loan. Very easy to do, super common, and absolutely you can do it all day long.